Hello guys, I really hope this is all working because it has been giving me trouble. Ever since I tried to start with the streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, I got all these settings messed up, and I see the camera is also being weird, but okay. I'm trying it again. I hope it works. I'm a little bit stressed out. I got a lot of things on the plate. That's why the video is coming pre-CPI. I have a lot of things to do, but I still wanted to get a little update video out and cover the most important questions that you guys asked me. Then we will do, once probably post-CPI, you know, I personally usually let the dust settle, see where we close daily, and then, you know, let one Asia go by. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we're gonna hear from the SEC concerning the ETF proposal. ARC is the one that's, well, one deadline is running out on the 13th. Yes, of course, today is the 10th, tomorrow is the 11th of August, but I don't think they will wait until Sunday. So I expect something Thursday today or tomorrow. Well, anyways, let's start and take a look at Bitcoin. I lost my charts again. I have some severe issue with my trading view, and I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still in the process of that, so it's also still a mess. So just bear with me, and you can go back in prior videos or posts and in the group and see the proper charts. But in the end, you know, there is really nothing has changed. Yes, you can kind of argue that we had like a nice trend line retest breakout here, but as we said before, for me, until we get back above this 30,400 really level, I'm still undecided. I'm in the middle for Bitcoin. At least we have a lot of action on our DEXs and our higher risk portfolio. Yes, but right now, Bitcoin still nothing. The short setup is still clear that I was eyeing with monthly open potentially still get a run. If CPI can cause enough volatility, this would be nice if we could reach some of these downward targets, but you know, I'm not guessing here. I'm only waiting for my triggers. If Bitcoin does this, then we do that. That's my approach, and that's how I've been doing it. And just the guessing and kind of like trading this. I got stopped out once. I took a short somewhere. Where was it? It was right on Monday. It was right on Monday, which I usually Monday I'm pretty, you know, a little bit careful. But that was the aggressive entry. Here we also have this other trend line. I'm sorry, you need to bear with me here for a second. I have all my charts. I don't know what's going on. I need to fix the issue. They keep disappearing. So yeah, so the aggressive entry in my short was really here, and I said, you know, we have Monday high also not in here. Oh my god. I think this was Monday high. This was Monday high, this was Monday low. That's why I said, you know, we broken down, we were here, it was like, okay, it's aggressive entry. If it goes above Monday high and monthly and stays and closes, you know, I cut it. It is what it is. It happens. You cannot expect to have a 110% strike rate, and anybody else that tells you otherwise is a liar and or not a professional trader. So with Bitcoin, really now I'm just waiting. If we would get back below monthly here with a Monday range setup, this would be absolutely beautiful, and I would 100% take it, but not during CPI. So after that, I will definitely let the dust settle and we wait a little bit and see what is going on, where we're closing, and and see where we go from there. If we get daily closes back above 30,400, I'm a lot more prone to get more risk on, like I discussed before, also on my altcoin exposure. But ultimately, the full risk on is not until this range is broken and we are holding above. This is all the same. Nothing is changing. Don't get caught up trying to trade this. And I say this a lot too, with like a lot of people, you know, that are actually also are putting a lot of time in this. Like if you have a massive portfolio, you know what, you're fine trading this or whatever, but like still, even for me now, I have a lot more fun trading some of these shitcoins on these dexes. There are some really great projects. Some have really proper liquidity where you can get some stuff in it. You just need to, you know, apply your proper risk management. But if I personally would be coming into crypto and I need to build my portfolio again from nothing, I would not be trading Bitcoin. I would maybe keep an eye on Bitcoin and look at Bitcoin, but that's not what I would be trading, not for 1 second. Some of you are putting time into things where I think you could, if your time would be applied a lot more smart, you could have make a ton of money, because there are guys in the group that are doing these things and they are making a ton of money. So don't get caught up here. If you have a tiny amount of money, of course you can trade it. Just saying what I would be doing. It doesn't mean it's necessarily right for everybody, but in the end, you're in crypto, you want to make some money. You're here for the stupid gains and not to trade this. And the same is for me. You know, I do trade BTC sometimes, some day trades and whatever, but this is really just on the side. 90% of my times goes into checking out where are the new listings on Uniswap and so on. What is going on in Arbitrum? This takes a lot of time, but it is really worth it. So, you know, whatever suits you. Once, you know, if Bitcoin breaks out of the range and if Bitcoin is trending, then me personally, then I do have an edge. In this sideways range, you need to know what you're good at. And a lot of people say like, oh yeah, if you can trade, like you're not a trader. Yeah, you're a trader. You need to know what you're good at. And when the time comes, then you need to put your foot on the gas and you need to be focused, you need to be doing it. But when you know, I have no edge here. Maybe some scalpers do, I don't know. I don't have an edge here, I don't care. I'm not all that much interested in it. I put my focus where I know I'm good at. I know how to pick these low caps and so on. So this is what everybody needs to find for themselves as well. Yeah, that's just on the side. We're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth once we get to some of the projects I'm going to be covering today. Now, just very quickly to Arbitrum. Arbitrum, we had trendline breakout here. I know that some did actually trade this. I personally did not, because unfortunately I've been way too distracted. Now for me on the daily, I would really like, if I would be in a trade right now, I would like to see monthly hold, but other than that, I may be eyeing trendline retest. Other than that, other than the spot, I'm just talking putting on more positions or trading positions. My spot, I don't care. I'm not going to look at it until 2025. The exposure I picked out that I don't even worry really about. I'm gonna increase my exposure. Trendline retest would be nice. Of course, invalidation below this low. This would be perfect. We don't always get that. We will see. I want to see what Bitcoin is doing. I want to see what CPI is doing, and based on that, we're gonna be going over in the group on this trade as it evolves in time. But that is what I am currently watching. Or of course, the 120 level was a level we talked about. But right now, this is really either gonna be confirmation above monthly after CPI, or maybe after the ETF commentary that we're still expecting, then I'm a lot more likely to do it. And this is also something a lot of people are so uncomfortable just to chill out and not be in a position. And I don't understand that, because there is not money to be made in every single second of the day. You just need to chill out and wait for your setups to come. I mean, I see it somewhere like it seems like almost like in panic, and they're so stressed. It's just like you have your plan and you stick to it. And sometimes, you know, you're gonna miss something. If you cannot live with that, I don't know, then this might not be for you. You need to have a lot of patience and need to be able to accept sometimes you're going to miss something, sometimes you will not onboard, or you exit too soon, or you exit too late. Of course, you're going to be keeping track of it and eventually refining this and maybe, you know, getting a little bit better at it. But some things you need to accept and be content with. And we will talk about this, especially when it comes to these higher risk coins as well. Then Pepe, I think is very, very interesting with the trend line break. Let's see if we are getting a retest down here. This would be my preferred situation. Other than that, if it can close strong on the daily, I might be interested in taking a stab. But as I said, for me, as long with the CPI and with this ETF commentary, the thing is, we had like all these like new dynamics now in the market with like BlackRock coming in and Fidelity and all these other things. So now I think these deadlines and these approvals or not approvals gonna hold a lot more weight. So for me, this is the first time after all these other players coming that we had a deadline. I believe at least it is, and this is a pretty important one too. So I want to see what is the reaction, because right now I'm kind of like, I have this uncertainty factor where I'm like, I don't have full-blown confirmation in the charts for me. Otherwise, I would be a lot more likely to take on more risk, but I don't have that confirmation in the charts for me, what I'm looking for, and I have CPI, and I have this ETF situation still kind of like looming. So I'm, you know, just chilling a little bit. We're not in the casino here. We're not gambling. We're approaching this from a rational standpoint. Hopefully, most of you. Now let's look at some of the coins. Rollbit. Well, guys, I mean, I told you guys I have. It was somewhere around. Oh, I don't even know where it was. Somewhere around here, where I said, you know, we wrote this thing up almost 30x in the first half of the year. We rebought it. We wrote it up again. Another, I think, 5 or 6x, and then I said, you know what? At some point, I need to book something, and I leave 10% moon back. Well, and I did this. I sold another. I keep 5%, and these 5% I'm going to keep for good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be buying if we ever get like a decent size dip or anything. Usually, from my experience, these things at some point, and this I think is the most problematic thing. It's not so much people can find some of these projects, right? And they can make some gains. But the problem is they never book it. They never book it, or they get crazy because they booked it, and then they FOMO back in, and then like all these like bad decisions come in. So for me, it's like, you know, these 5% I keep. I'm happy with the trade. I think now on this spike yesterday, we were close to like 50x from the very, very, very first entries that we had in the beginning of the year. I'm good. I don't need to, and I can take this and take these profits and redistribute them somewhere else where I feel like from here to do another X and another X or another 10X, more like, you know, with my higher risk portfolio, I'm looking for coins that can do 10, 20, 30X. Can Rollbit do another 10, 20, 30X? Well, in a full-blown bull market, maybe, but for me at this point, we wrote it up. This is good enough. I keep this tiny amount, 5% of the initial in, and I'm good. And this either goes further to fucking Mars now, or I'm good. And then, you know, once like dust settled a little bit or whatever, then we can maybe revisit. But everybody who was on board, everybody who made money, very good, be happy. I'm not saying book your entire bag, but make sure, especially, I know you made some, well, I would almost say somewhat life-changing amount, then also make it change your life and don't let it be stuck in there. Take some out, put some in the bank account, let a couple days go by, refocus, don't do anything stupid, and then keep on doing, you know, what you're doing with your high risk part of the portfolio with a level mind, right? Don't go then and blow it and then, you know, it just destroys you. We're gonna look at MechX in a second, just one example. So just keep going and keep your risk like you had it before, because eventually, you know, when the music stops, it stops with these things. Like 50% down is nothing sometimes. So just make sure. And the ones that I'm speaking to right now very well know who it is. So I do not want to get a call. I do not want to get a stupid message somewhat down the road. You know, you can take your profits. Who the fuck gives a shit if this thing goes up and not 100%? You can put it in some other project. You can keep making money. Just have a strategy and an idea in mind what it is that you want to do. Do you want to keep it? Are you fine? That's what I always say. You need to, the amount you put in, is it fine if it goes to zero? Do you have life-changing money on the table? If yes, well, take 80% out, leave some in, and then take some in the bank account, and with the other rest, you can keep on going with proper risk management. Very important. So I do not want anybody here in the group have anything fucked up after this massive run. Now we go to WINR. This is really, really nice. We had the trend line break. It didn't, so I only have what I had from the trend line break. It didn't give me the retest down, which is fine too. So I have what I have. There's no reason to FOMO. We're up over 100%. Like I always say, especially WINR was not one that I want to keep kind of like longer. This is for me kind of like a trade, a momentum trade here. So let's see. I'm gonna be a lot more quick to book. I kind of want to see how it works out with the farming they have going on and people dumping the tokens at the same time. Eventually, you know, if there's enough buying pressure, it's gonna just eat through that. But that was kind of something that put me off a little bit. But we'll see. We're off to the races. Nothing should be happening to that position anymore, and you can sit comfy and just let it go. Then dark, beautiful. We booked at 100% plus over here. Then we actually had the perfect retest. But sometimes, you know, on these things, it's impossible to get. Really, it's like if you're not sitting there and you're seeing this, it's so quick. It is what it is. But we had a nice little retest. For me, this was close enough, and we are yet again. Oh my God! I didn't even. What did I have to entry? Was that? Well, yeah. Again, up over 250%. So this is going really nice. I think with the bot narrative, this is one to withstand, I believe, and to do really, really well. We're only at 3.6 million market cap. I think so, kind of like my target was around 10 million-ish. So we will see how it develops. We will see what is going on in the background. But like I said, now we had twice. Here we had 100% gain. You should have booked half. You could have really bought a good amount lower. You're up 250%. You know, you need to be smart about these things. Yes, sometimes, you know, listen, there is project that I absolutely love. We're gonna look at one in a second. Hold on, let me pull it up. I absolutely love COF, but also that doesn't, and some people were like, oh, because I was not talking negative. I was just saying there is things that I'm seeing that I'm not liking, and no matter, now it is fine. They released the link, everything seems to be working fine, and this is good. But you know, sometimes you cannot be emotionally attached to these projects. You always need to be rational. Yes, I love it. Yes, I think that this is potentially one of the biggest winner if they pull through over the next couple months as well and everything runs smooth. But you also always need to be smart about it and level-headed if you see things you do not like. It is what it is. Always manage your risk. So COF link finally released. I posted it earlier in the group. I haven't tried it out yet. I will do my best that I can do it. Today, and I have a couple true gamers that will test it out for me as well. So yeah, then I will give you guys a little bit of feedback. But dark, well, is off to the races. There's not much more really to say here. And now we're gonna be looking at MechX because this is something, you know, that also happens. MechX we booked at 100% or 120. Some of you guys luckily at 220. I only got it booked, I think, at 115 or something like this % plus. I booked half. Well, and then it did this. So supposedly an exploit, whatever, from one of the devs. I don't know. I don't care. These things happen. But this is also how something can look. These things don't always look like this. you know, or oops, or like this. So I opened up another window here. So you need to keep this in mind. You need to keep this in mind. This can also happen. It can happen to any project at any point in time, well, not maybe every project, but you know, it is crypto. Nothing. We saw it after FTX. Everything and anything is possible. So if you make the money, lock it in, then you can redistribute your profits and you can sleep at night. Do not beat yourself up if, you know, if you book profits and it keeps going up. You will probably never buy the perfect bond, and you will probably never sell the absolute top. In the end, what matters is, are you making money? You have more money than before. These gains here are unreal. Hundreds and hundreds of percent gains here all the time. After one project after another. There is nothing to be upset about. If you sell something a little bit early, don't get yourself wrapped up in this. You have your journal, you can write it down, and you can maybe sometimes see, you know, maybe you are a little bit too aggressive, what can be adjusted. That is all fine, but you need to find one way to do this. One way, one plan, and you execute that plan no matter what. Because, you know, with these gains, especially Rollbit, money makes your mind stupid. It's toxic for your mind. You get greedy, you get crazy. It's have the plan. When you take profit at 100% X, at 3, 5, 10, and whatever, and then you let some run, whatever it is, whatever it might be. And also, and I will make a separate video about this, the cash out plan. Always have a cash out plan. I have my cash out plan hanging right behind me at this wall, where I check it off, hit certain milestones, the money goes out. And it doesn't just go out of the project, it goes out into the bank account. And that is it. It doesn't come back in. That's a whole nother story, especially more so important for the bull market. Otherwise, you will eventually, the music stops at some point. The music can stop at any point, especially in crypto. Just be prepared for it. So far, I really have to say, there was never a coincidence. Yes, one time on Rune. But I made a really bad mistake on Rune, and some of you guys remember that because I said I will never want to hear about it. I think it was Rune. I booked after 150%, and I was so stupid, and I booked the entire bag. And this fucking thing, I think, went on a run, like, I think it made 500x or whatever. I never want to hear about this thing again. Yes, that was the only time I regretted it, but that was my fault. I was executing it not properly. You should have at least left the moon back, then I would have had, you know, something. But it is what it is. These things happen. You learn from it, you know, always keep a moon back. And then you're good. And then you're good. So other than that, I have not much more to update and to talk about. Just like I hope I covered the most important questions and some of the stuff you guys keep asking me about. Just here really a waiting game. I will, once we have a clear decision with BTC, I will make an updated list. But other than that, all these alts like Kata, STX, you know, 0x0, what else, blockchain, like all this is still the same. I have a couple additions potentially. I'm still looking. We'll see. I'm not quite through yet. Unfortunately, I'm really swamped with work. The next, well, literally until the 18th. So I will make sure I keep the updates frequently. The plans are really clear, and all the other coins are going really well. There's nothing really much to update other than leaving them alone. And I will be more, like I said, I will be putting in more of the taken profits into the market if we get this confirmation on Bitcoin. And I'm just, yes, some things are already running in these things, but also, you know what, I'm fine buying in 20, 30, 40% higher with the rest that I want to allocate. If, you know, if I can see kind of more positive development here and have a little bit more, you know, peace of mind. Because if we would do an aggressive move down into these lower levels, then these things are gonna suffer too. You know how quick it goes. Just as quickly as they go up, they go down. So I'm kind of trying, you know, I sometimes also get impatient, but, you know, it is what it is. Then I hope everybody's having a good day. Don't do anything stupid during CPI, please. And talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.